Hold on to your whatsits, guys. This is the biggest update we've ever done here on Porpeang Farm, Thailand. It's been ages. And apologies, kicking off with apologies to everyone that's been concerned about us. We're still alive, we're still together, and we're still farming here in Thailand. Right, so much to get through. It's going to be a walk and talk, a ramble with me rambling on how we've been getting on. Right, bucklings, we are down to 12. That's right. So the last time we updated about the bucklings, we had 13, and Thor's still here. He hasn't gone over to the big house yet. We've dispatched one. That's right. We sold some meat, and we had a feast. So it's a big change for here on the farm. Up until then, the only times we'd dispatched a goat is if they'd had an accident or they were sick beyond repair. So yeah, it was very different in that respect. We had a fantastic feast. Toon worked her magic locally, finding a few customers. I think we've got three customers. So we managed to sell about 2/3, maybe 3/4 of the goat, and then the rest was on the barbecue. First time I've ever had goat testicles. We are going to continue doing this. We just got to be very aware and careful that the customers that we've got don't get bored of eating goat. So I would say maybe, I'm guessing at the moment, maybe we can, once every 3-4 weeks, we can slaughter a goat. Yeah. Everyone looking very dirty at the moment from my last biochar burn. Right, over here. So, number 2, I'm not going to try and keep count, there's so much to get through. I've had a bit of strimming madness going on. So this was all as thick as you can see here. All here was napier and black sugar cane, along with lots of weeds and grasses as well. The bits that the goats don't eat I've piled up, and I'm going to plant in here. I'm not sure what. I might give turmeric a go in here, although it's quite shady in here. I'm just judging by the way I've grown it the last 2 seasons. I reckon it might do well in here. So I need to prepare the soil. There's a lot of leaf mould in here from the government trees shedding their leaves every year, and yeah, I reckon something like that in there. Napier starting to come back here. So it's at the moment we're trying to be as efficient as possible in as far as collecting the fodder goes. So the goats are on the island for most of the time. They're let out for about 3 hours a day. So we're sending a lot of the food to them on the island, and to cut down on the time it takes shredding, what I'm doing, I'm just going in there with the strimming and strimming everything down, and you'll see when we go over to the island in a minute, the spent fodder is then repurposed back on the farm for things like this. Spent fodder and hyacinth, biochar, leaves, and a little bit of cassava skin, because I'm going to show you our new load of cassava skins. The other thing that's changed since last time, as well as the big biochar, big Katim pile gone, that's the new one taking shape now. Gerard's compost is now gone, and that's gone into a raised bed. I'm going to show you the areas for there. I've used most of this biochar round a lot of banana trees and the rough stuff, so the real chunky stuff that the goats haven't trodden down. I've just put it in here, and they'll sort that out. They'll smash all that up and gradually work away along there. Loads of leaves on the ground this time of year. This particular one, I don't know what it is, but the goats do like it, and they're drinking a lot of water at the moment. We've got the team of Impto on the go. Goat market situation, still can't sell any. Did get a message from a guy that was a fellow goat farmer, and he was saying the market's starting to slowly pick up, which is great news, but unfortunately it hasn't filtered to our neck of the woods. So we keep going. Right then, behind here is something very new, and big thank you to Patron, because we used our Patron funds this month to buy this. Toon's brainchild. We got it second hand from a local couple, and we're growing grasshoppers. Very expensive to keep. A handful of Napier each day. It warrants a video on its own, to be fair, guys, but at the moment we're still learning about it. We've done a lot of research online, obviously, on YouTube, and the couple that we bought from, we spent a good hour with them talking and learning about stuff, and then they arranged delivery for all this. We bought the whole set off them, plus grasshopper eggs, and then they came and set everything up with us. So it was really good to pick their brains. They've been doing it for quite some time and quite successful with it. So yeah, Toon loves these. I'm going to get into them, get the old protein levels up, and yeah, all good. Spinning round, our latest delivery of cassava skins on our hot water system. So we've got our irrigation pipe work all coiled up in there, and the showers are toasty once more. A little tamarin, I gave this a good hack back not long ago. It's coming back nicely. In the background you can see lots of gutting in there. I've been in there with the strimmer. I'm making massive progress in there, trying not to cut too many guttins down. We want them nice and tall. Along the road we've still got all our bananas here. I need to rake out the biochar. It is raw biochar. Well, the goats have been on it for a week or two, but underneath that they're already dug into the soil is inoculated biochar. Then we had a top dressing of goat manure, then the biochar. I just need to level that out, and then I'm going to put a top dressing of goat manure on that. So it's sort of like inoculating it or charging it in situ. So these are still very young, these bananas are only just starting to get going. I've got a couple of papayas that need sorting out. They are struggling a little bit, but I don't irrigate, to be fair. It's laziness. So yeah, we do make loads and loads of biochar. I'm going to show you another area that we've been doing it as well on the island. Say the goat manure, we've got loads of that as well. It's going over the top, and it's a one-time application. This, you know, you put enough on in one go, you don't have to do it again. All clear in here. I need to go around with my little machete and clean up individually. It's a bit what would I say, it's fraught with danger using the strimmer in here round the guttin. I keep on chopping them down by mistake. Lots of wasps' nests in here. Well, there were. This is the lemongrass that is good for keeping mozzies away. I need to come out and use my DIY spray. I've been trying to give this pomelo enough chance to ward off damage, but yeah, I think we're going to have to spray that. Lots of gutting coming. Napier's doing really well. Been heavily mulching around here, so I'm going to show you the system that we've currently got in place on the island. So you can see here, this is what I've been doing. So after the biochar all balanced out, big thick coating of goat manure. You can't over manure anything that we're growing on the farm, really. I think the only thing that doesn't like too much goat manure is morning glory. You don't really have to do anything with that. So strimmed quite close down here, tried not to damage the heads of the Napier too much, and they're bouncing back nicely. There's still the odd pocket of stuff that needs to come down, but again, I need to get in there and cut that by hand, and then let the guttins get nice and high. Still quite a few eucalyptus in here. Got these earmarked for constructing another project that's in the pipeline. Right, okay, a thick duvet of spent fodder. So there's a lot of I was going to say waste. You can't call it waste, can you? It's what the goats haven't eaten, and you know, they poop and pee on it, and we just bring it out here. So there's biochar underneath there. Obviously there's loads of goat manure as well, and we just keep on topping up now with this. As the dry season is well underway, everything's pretty arid, and luckily my moringas and most of my bananas survived the rainy season here. So the idea is to keep building this up and up and up with loads of goat manure and biochar, and yeah, just create soil rather than relying on moon rock. So a couple of bananas that didn't make it here and here. I haven't bothered mulching around this moringa. I don't think this one's made it. But they're free, aren't they? I've just hacked them off the other trees around the farm. You can see how thick it is. So it's really heavy going with the strimmer. It's good fun. It's a good workout. Gets rid of your lavandles. And I was going to say keeps the 6-pack in trim, but I wouldn't know about that. It's going well. Oh, nearly forgot. Don't let me forget. On the way back, I'll show you my galangal and my... What is it, Leigh? mulberries, that's it. So yeah, these are all doing well. This is the bit that I did this morning, so you can do quite a bit in one hit. So I've been in there, rake that up, put it onto the island, let the goats out, and clear the old guitin table. By the time I've done that, Toon is back, and we've got the load of guitin that goes straight on the table. So we're trying not to cut our own guitin too much. And the napier didn't really take down here. There's only the odd pocket that survived, so we're looking to do something else in here. It might all be bananas, I don't know yet. Lots of scope, lots of land available, lots of ideas. And going well. Can actually see through to the bamboo forest now. The palm's doing incredibly well. Getting quite a lot of squirrels and chipmunks on the farm now, so I think we're going to have to look at trapping them next season for the when the palm nuts start to really take off. Otherwise we're going to lose a lot, and we want to start selling them. I haven't started strimming in there yet, although it's not too out of control. Some really wiry stuff. You couldn't see these palms last week. This stuff I haven't raked it up because, well, basically it was too much of a weed that the goats don't like. Just only one weed on the farm, and so we're just basically it's just chopping and dropping. Right, over here, it's not that I've missed a bit, it's we've still got our family of bees. It's probably not the right terminology, is it? But there they are. They're still busy bees. And as much as I do love fresh wild honey, just feel guilty. It's bonkers, isn't it? We're going to buy honey in town, which is probably sugar syrup. But when we get bees nesting on our farm, we tend to leave them to it and get the benefits of all the pollination. They're taking us up to this end. Look how tall the napier is in there. It's actually going to seed, so we should cut that down. Some black napier in there. We've got like a wild variety of mangoes, quite a small mango, very sour. And oh, yesterday was the day before, we had our first pickled mangoes that Toon made last season. Just started to clear along here. Local government has resurfaced the old road down here. Made quite a decent job. Jumbo grass starting to get going now. A few guitins have survived transplanting as well. But yeah, looks like we've sown them too close together. But hey ho, we've got jumbo seed. We'll just let that go to seed, I think, and then start cutting. Oopsie, looks like I'm a bit overzealous with the old strimmer. There's a mulberry there. I do get a bit excited when I've got the strimmer going. Not using the Honda 4-stroke anymore, she died. Using the 2-stroke, it's basically a quarter of the price. And the guy that kept on fixing Honda for us, he was saying, look, just if you go for a 2-stroke, okay, it's not quite a luxury machine as the 4-stroke Honda, but the cheapest chips to repair. And yeah, we got it for 1,900 baht, and it's working like a dream. There's just one little thing has gone wrong on it in, I don't know, I think we've had it about 4 months now. It's working hard. We've got a nice big powerful samurai blade on there, and yeah, it's going well. Just need to cool down under the shade of the bamboo. Oh right, so why does it take us so long to do an update, Leigh? Lots of reasons. One, obviously the main reason, as always, Leigh's been lazy. Well, I haven't really. I've been more busy than ever before. But we've been super busy with farm stays. I think I mentioned in the last video or one before that, we had Mark here for a week. Then we were supposed to have another farm stay coming, and we had a no-show, unfortunately. Not sure what's happened there. It might be that because that's happened a few times now, we might have to start taking deposits. I don't know. Then we had Mum and Chris. Chris came for just over 2 weeks. Mum's still with us. And then we got the return of Gerard. So what's been happening is we've been exploiting farm stay guests. Yeah, we even include Mum as a farm stay guest. And we've been ragging them as much as possible. Hang on a minute. My mulberries. Let's have a check. Go on, son. Been strimming all along the canal as well. I might put some watermelons in now. I've got the seed, I've just been too bone idle to put them in. But still a bit of moisture here and easy to get some water out of the canal. How we do it here? Oh, all right, son. Go on then. Easy mulberries, aren't they? These aren't rooted or anything, they're just cut and shoved straight in. Let's see if we've got that trick. Oh yeah. And my galangal just shoved it straight in. Still quite a bit of moisture here, so they've got going. I do want to strim round here again and put a load of goat muck round them. This is why I'm so buff, doing about 50 wheelbarrows of biochar and goat muck every day. Well, I can't take all the credit, we have had help. This first bit, the napier started to get going now, so that's good. It'll just have to go through the same process as the rest of the farm, where the first year, you know, your other weeds and that come back and it's competing against them. And then when you can harvest the napier and strim everything down, then you should get that situation where the napier is so established it bolts up straight away again, and then it'll start suppressing the weeds. It's on borrowed time though. Another couple of years the palms will take over and the canopy will knock back the napier as well as everything else. So there's one of the reasons why I haven't been doing the videos, because certainly for me, when I see someone else working, I feel guilty to sit in the hammock or walk around with the video, and I'm conscious that not everyone wants a video shoved in the face anyway. So I've been trying to, how could I put it, it's so motivating to see progress when you've got other people here helping. And even if they're doing the day-to-day chores that Toon and I normally do, if they can take a portion of those off our workload, then I can crack on with stuff that needs doing. So instead of sort of like mulching one banana tree a week, I can do 10 in a day or something like that. And yeah, it's sort of like, it gives you the drive. So I've been waking up, I don't know, sort of between 4 and 6 every morning, and I'm normally out and about by 6:30, got the brew on, leave a cup of tea by Mum's bed. Sometimes she wakes up early as well. Just leave a coffee next to Toon, poke her and run out the door. She didn't do early starts, my wife. Yeah, and since Gerard's been here on the farm stay, he's here similar time, and we're straight into it. We're strimming, he's cleaning the goat, the fodder areas. Let's go over there while we're talking about it. Loads of wasps' nests were down here, just trimmed them to death. And well, unless Toon wanted them for fishing bait, and then she would come out and smoke them out or spray them and then get the nest out. You'll see the amount of grass seed now, loads of it, and all down here. I've started strimming a little bit. It's a killer for Toon's hay fever. We've got like a fluffy pathway, all the grass seed. The problem with this though is now we've let it go to seed, so we've got loads of seed for next year. This should all be green next year. It's a little bit drier than the goats like, and I know that they are supposed to have some dry fodder and brown fodder. Really, they only take these bits, so there's a fair bit of waste. But when we strim here, that's what's creating the real thick mulch over there. Water situation, we are dropping faster than ever before, which is a real bum bag but it's due to limited rainfall. This rainy season was an absolute nightmare for us. I know it wasn't all the case for the whole of Thailand, but quite a few provinces have struggled. Now, we did get up to full capacity, but we didn't go over capacity, and we didn't stay at capacity. As soon as it got full, it stopped raining, and that's been it. So it looks like, well, pretty sure that the land just didn't get hydrated to the same extent it normally does. So it is dropping, well, just crazy speed. So it looks like the predictions for the 3-year drought may be coming true, but we do what we can, don't we? I'll show you the 4 ponds near the house that have got the crayfish and the other fish in there, and then because they're up the higher part of the land on the farm, they drain down quicker or drop quicker than the lake. The lake's pretty stable at the moment. This will start really dropping in another few weeks. Right then, quite a bit to run through on the island. Start off with the bad news. Slim is no longer with us. We think she got a hit, and she didn't pull through, and we had to take the decision to dispatch her. Unfortunately, she was pregnant. We have had this problem previously, but we've not had it for so long, since we sorted out the feeders and the get-in table and how we actually feed the goats. So we think it happened that night in the goat house, and we think there was a little bit of argy-bargy, and we think she's took a hit in the midriff, and yeah, she wasn't going to get any better. Unfortunately, she'd had shots and stuff. We gave her a good chance for a few days, trying to encourage her to keep eating and stuff, but yeah, so unfortunately a lost animal that couldn't be sold or eaten by us, but the dogs and the fish have done all right out of it. So yeah, quite sad, that one, but we move on, don't we? We keep going. Enough sad videos, haven't we, about goats. Current standings, I think we're on AC1 goats, about 30 pregnant. We're finally caught up with the giant get-in pile here. So during the rainy season, the get-in piles get higher and higher. They're too wet and green to burn off for biochar, so we have to wait for the dry season, unless we have like a prolonged dry spell in the rainy season. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another one under there, 6, and we had another one in there, and yeah, we just gradually compile it. Another month or two we're going to start stockpiling it, so when it comes to the rainy season again, we can continue to put it underneath there. That now, the deep litter system, that is nearly all compost underneath there, where you can see where they've been scratching it down here. It's all broken down. So what I have been doing now is starting to rake the loose stuff that basically just sticks here, and then we're going to dig that out and riddle it for compost, and keep on topping up the raised beds. So much material, organic material generated with what we're doing, strimming the fodder. It's fantastic. Although you can see in here, hang on a minute, let's have a walk around here. Oh, we need topping up, don't we, Money, eh? I don't mean topping our Money up, although that would be nice. She is called Money. All right, minute. This will go up your hooter. Go on then. Right then, so you can see here, that is about 5 or 6 days worth, minus all this that was here. So this was 6 trolley loads yesterday. So 6 trolley loads, that was 2 palms that it mulched. So you can imagine how thick we're putting the mulch around there. This was just like a bog during the rainy season, and I just put endless amounts of barrow loads of biochar in there. Right, let's turn this off. This pipe work that we put in from the house is absolute godsend. Saved us so much time and effort. It's also saved my back quite considerably. We've had a great laugh with some farm stays. The recent farm stays have been a right old crack, and it was lovely to see Chris finally catching some decent fish. He's had an awful run of luck on his previous visits here, mainly because we don't give him time off from doing the farm chores, but he's been so helpful the past few years. We felt guilty, so we gave him a free pass, and he fished most days. The first few days he was here, I think it's just over 2 weeks he was here. We ran him ragged on errands for us while he had a rental car. After that, we tried to get him fishing nearly every day, and he caught some belting fish. And he had 10 species in the end. He's the first person to get a bony lip barb out of here. He got a couple of really nice sized cattlers, Hovens carp, got his first gourami. He was banging out the Julians, the good Julian's Golden Prize carp, which was brilliant to see. And he had 3 matches as well, 2 against Mrs. Crabtree in the series. We've got the video footage. It's going to take a lot of editing. There was a lot of swearing in that. And there was also an international pole match, rematch, between him, myself, Toon, and Mum, aka Dorothy Perkins again. So yeah, it was very, very busy on the match fishing scene. But after that, yeah, he was out here and he had his whistle. And when he hooked a big one or wanted one taking a photograph, Uncle Leigh would come running round, and normally taking him a gin and tonic or a beer, and yeah, help him photograph the fish and pop them back. Right, let's go round that way. See what I mean about the water level dropping. Last month I was touching the bottom of that bamboo sala. Gached here, all edible aquatic plant. Goats like it too, so there's always an option for them. Toon just been a bit lazy to get in there. We've got some climbing perch in there as well. They'll still be alive somewhere. Boy, have I been busy around these ponds. I wouldn't say they're manicured. We're never going to be manicured. First off, the coconuts. So mulched to within an inch of their lives. About 15 barrow loads of goat muck there. And everything had been biochar the year before, and had loads of hyacinth, because don't forget this was all full of hyacinth over a year ago. Tamarind doing really well now. A few bits and bobs that I've put in along here have taken, well, most of them. A couple of moringas are struggling, some are okay though. Yeah, we've done just about every single coconut tree around the ponds. Got Eddie's bird of paradise down there, thank you mate. Mother-in-law's tongue here. Variegated something or other there. And we've had a couple of casualties. For some reason we've had this tamarin and that tamarin over there. Can't really see it. Left it as a big post. Yeah, they perished, don't know why. So I've just been putting moringas in instead. We've got enough tamarins anyway. Right, let's go over that side. I think previous video, or last time I had a walk around here, this was just all jungle. This has been me strimming and Jared being a good Australian, raking up and then ferrying it all to the island. So you couldn't walk in here before. It was just absolutely thick. Plenty of young bananas coming up. I'm just a little bit reluctant to transplant any now we're in the dry season. We're still getting a fair bit of this going on, where the old bugs, whatever bug it is, they're gnawing away underneath, but the leaves are still doing the job with the sunlight. Is it photosynthesizing? So they're doing all right. You can see what I mean here. Horrible things. But we don't spray anything now, so you can see here Jared's been bunging the biochar down here, so after he'd done these I went along and putting the goat muck over the top. But again, it's because it's all moon rock, you can't put too much on there. The more the better. No old gittin in there. I think yeah, the last video definitely all you could see there was that shooting out the top of the weeds. Got a few bananas. Hands aren't great on some of them. The ones nearer the house in the better soil, they're doing so well. and just a pitiful effort there as well. All the napier in here coming through after the strimming. Palms need tidying up down the bottom. Take the lower branches off, cut them back, and then I can get in there with the wheelbarrows and sort them out. They need a lot of goat muck. Goat muck required along here. Planted auger tin all the way around here. These ones are doing really well from before. So it's just trying to create a little bit of shadow over the ponds, and food for the goats, and bananas for everyone. So we're getting there, aren't we? So these, because there's not much weed in here, these are going to be suitable in another couple of weeks, I imagine, to cut and shred. If you're running through the shredder, there's very, very little waste. We've got a Pusar here doing quite well. I do need to tidy this one up. I trimmed it down the bottom a little bit, but it's very spiky. The fruit on these are like a miniature apple. Tastes like fusty apple. Really, not really making you want to eat it, but I wouldn't say they're an acquired taste, but you know when you get a really ripe apple and they're just starting to turn, they're a little bit like that. But nice and sweet. You can see some lovely new banana pups coming up there with the narrow leaves, sort of, some people call them the spears. They're ideally the ones that we want to be transplanting. Another tamarind here. Right, the moringas, they're ready to come down now. Been waiting. Some of you cast your mind back. The bees finally left last week, so we've got seed pods in here. Although it is going to flower, there are some seed pods as well. I want to cut these down, give them to the goats, keep the biggest branches, and transplant them around the farm. See, these were cut back just at the end of the rainy season. But yeah, they're doing all right. They're doing all right. As are these as well. There's some old lemongrass in here. I've been trying to get rid of it, but it's not great. Rhino beetle damage. They're still active, the sods. I think I'm going to have to go down with the route of getting the pheromone bucket trap, where you put it out and the pheromones attract them. They go into the top of the bucket and then they can't get back out. I think that's what we're going to have to do. Make sure that we don't lose these coconut trees, because they're a good size now, and these aren't the ones that they use for coconut water or coconut milk. These are they're not the ones that you just drink straight out of. These take a little bit longer to mature before you get your coconuts. So you can see the size of them now. The last thing we want them is to perish. What was I going to say? Yeah, you might have seen on Facebook, guys, Toon in here. Certainly about a month or two ago, this was almost gin clear, and her and Kai muck in there, and of course the Bebo swimming lessons. So the tab tim growing nicely, 8 grass carp doing very, very nicely now, and the giant Siamese are getting giant, growing so well. Very happy with that. But you can see, look how much it's dropped now, and that is dropped a lot quicker than ever before. Crayfish pond, heavily restocked just a couple of days ago. Put over 1,000 in here. Everything tidied up around the outside, and I've just got a little bit more strimming to do down here, but good to go with that. They're getting plenty of tidbits out of the kitchen at the moment. Haven't really planted anything around the outside of here. Don't know what to do, whether just to do it with Gatin or not, or whether to do some pretty stuff. In here, I won't lie, we've had a go at the old pole fishing in here, and we've caught Esoc Thai, Banai, what else? Pacu. There was a couple of rogue pacu that got put in here by accident when we bought a load of fry. I think a couple were in there that hadn't been spotted, and yeah, they ended up in here as well. So yeah, we managed to catch one of those, and we put them in the canal. When we purchased the fish for here, we also purchased a load of tilapia. Now, we already had tilapia in here, so we've got 2 different sizes. So we have fished in here on 2 occasions, and both occasions we took 10 of the biggest tilapia that we caught, and we ate them. Fantastic. They're doing really well. Very happy with them. but we'll probably leave them another month now, and then we'll fish again. I think we'll get to a point eventually where when the water level drops so much, rather than pumping from the lake or anything, we'll drain it, net it, eat some, preserve some, and put some in the lake. Okay, let's show you another area which very rarely gets shown on our videos. Only showing it now because I've cleaned it up, and Jared's started his vegetable beds. Oh, basil doing well. Go on then. Lovely looking bananas here. So reasonable. In here a lot of napier. Just to go streaming frenzy again. Get in papaya. This has been mulched really thickly, and put the tarp back over it again. In here I had a couple of dodgy papaya trees looking a bit skinny at the top, so I've hacked them back. I've not checked them actually. Oh, here we go. And we had a lot of water inside that, so I shoved it full of coconut fibre just to try and dry it up a bit, and hopefully I know a lot of people tie a plastic bag over them. I did do that once before, but to me they sweat a little bit too much and rot. So I've done another one in here. Again, this napier will be harvested anytime soon. Not sure whether that one's going to make it or not, but we'll give it a chance. This one fell over in the storm, or snapped off in the storm, and it looks like it's rotting in there, and yet doing all right. Worryingly, the less intervention by Leigh, the papayas seem to do better. The old MSG plant, lovely stuff. The bananas, how are we doing? I thought we had another one. Have we got another one yet? Not yet. It's a bit tall, isn't it? The last one that we harvested, that one there, we had to chop it up over 2 days, it was so big. Right, so this one totally neglected and hardly anything in here. So I used to heavy mulch in here and then just grow things in little pockets. So that had the tarp on it for nearly a year. So Jared's doing a compost turning system because he likes extra work, and also I've been refilling these up. So this had all the corn in for about halfway. That was all for the goats, and then I did my salad down here last rainy season. No, last winter season, sorry. So I think he's not here at the moment, so I think he's got coriander here, big batch of coriander and a big batch of dill, and I don't know what he's got earmarked for there, up to him. Yeah, he's done all the work, so up to him what he puts in here. And me and Toon will eat it all. Fantastic arrangement. Totally cleared round here. This was scary. This is probably my scariest trimming to date. Pretty rough stuff, but we are getting there. So I'm thinking containers or something like this, container growing. Can't really expect too much to grow in the soil here, largely because of the bamboo, and then we've got mango tree, coconut tree, donkey, another bamboo, so it's pretty devoid of sunlight and moisture. So I think containers, and maybe just make them out of bamboo sides or something like that. There's a few gallon gals in here that put in here. It's not that we really harvest it, it's just in the rainy season. Certainly if the goats are a little bit under the weather, it's nice and warming for them. They really do go to town on these leaves if they're a bit peaky. So all this napier is going to get chopped down. The old cassava still doing what it wants there. Couldn't even see here a couple of weeks ago. Still a little bit to clear up, but at least now we we've got it clear and there's no wasp nests left. We've got the noni tree, so if you're suffering from, well, if you can't keep it up, guys, look up noni fruit and or vomit fruit and get on that. Another dong care, the edible flowers. Mayom, which is the sour fruit, doing well. Let's do this one. I said it was a mega update, didn't I? Loads of wasp nests along here, loads of fishing bait. My red banana, I know it's not red, but the fruit should be. It's having a kid. In here, just drained. Ow! I must remember to make that higher. Drained these down and took, well, most of the crayfish out of here, and rather than sort of like empty the whole thing and restock with babies, we kept sort of like teenage ones in here. Gonna let these grow and get it on in here, and then the next time, there's a few flying around there, the next time we drain down, I think we'll just keep on repeating the process like that. It's a little bit less labour intensive. Okay, these two tanks, not really done anything with these for a while. I did trial them with 2 lots of baby crayfish, but they didn't make it. I think it's just too much direct sunlight and I didn't want to go down the shady route. So I've got my gungfoy in here, which are the glass shrimp. Growing these in here, which looks minging. Toon doesn't like this pond anymore because, well, she used to, because it had all her climbing perch in there, but my giant snakehead were popped in here, and well, there's no other fish left in there, is there? The lime tree that keeps on giving, it will just not give up. What am I supposed to do? I can't complete my pruning. Never mind, we'll get there. This crayfish tank still to drain down. Kymuk's washing. This is a holding tank for our males, so when we get orders, which are going reasonably well at the moment, 2 or 3 orders a month. Yeah, so they go help to make up a set. Or when we get quite a few, then we can sell, you know, per kg for the table. What else? My big lemons. I've still got a fair few. We're getting through them, keeping mum busy, squeezing them, keeping all the juice ready for using in the kitchen. We've got some factong here, which are the Thai pumpkin, looking really good now. So they will start sprawling all over the place. Before they do, though, need to get in here and just trim everything down. Can't really grow these in the rainy season because the grass will just grow all over them. So dry season, you can keep the tyres wet, trim everything down, and then they can crawl all over it's basically straw then. Yeah, they're looking nice and healthy. Good compost now, eh? Another bit that we've totally cleared. This was horrific. Again, a lot of stuff in here was that stuff that the goats don't eat. So I just kept strimming it. And now I've got it down nice and low. I can get the lawnmower in here. And hopefully once we initiate project lawn mowing, then the grasses will take over like they have done down there. Still can't remember what that fruit tree is. Still planning to take all these eucalyptus out, but so we've got a secret project on the cards that we're going to use them for. So yeah, that'll be in the future. Dragon fruits, they're in the clouds. So I'm thinking about doing these properly because they grow so well, and we've had a fair few fruit off them this year, but some of them were so high only the squirrels and chipmunks get them. I don't know whether you can see them. No. Okay, that's around here. Asparagus not doing very well. Mum's been an absolute star and took out all the old foot-long beans out of here. Still a few more to collect up there, but I've got to get up there on the step ladder She's kept the seeds and put them in soak, and we're going to rehydrate all this bed today with the solar pump, and she's going to pop them in. And just starting to turn is the much loved and adored turmeric. Look at these, beautiful. Really looking forward to transplanting these and growing more and more of them. We've had quite a bit of interest about this, so yeah, hopefully we can propagate it elsewhere and it will grow just as well as it has done here. Our planned development of here is not taking place other than me cleaning up a little bit, but we were hoping to have Nalur back and to work alongside Nalur and convert all this into something a little bit more presentable, but it hasn't taken place yet. Juvenile crayfish, full-size massive crayfish, juvenile crayfish, teenage crayfish that are sexually mature but not full-size, and crayfish up the duff. The flaming Uncle Marky's worm bin all the way from Australia. There are worms in there, honest. They're doing very well. I said they're in safe hands, didn't I, Marky, eh? Wouldn't let you down. And last but not least, pickle mango la. Wow. And Mrs. Monkey. Hello, you know. Hello. And that's it. I am totally exhaustipated. Probably missed off loads. I've been doing loads of other stuff as well, but it's just escaped me. I haven't got a script. I haven't planned this, so yeah, I'll probably do another update tomorrow. Thanks for bearing with us, guys. Hope you've enjoyed everything that we've been getting up to. And oh, the other thing is, now we got no other help as regards the Catin runs going on. So while we've had farm stays, what we've been doing is paying Nalur to do 2 Catin trips for us, so we could spend more time with our guests. But he's off now. He's gone back to see some family, and by the time he gets back, Mum will have gone back home. Chris has already gone. So that's it. We're back to the grindstone. Toon's already onto her second day doing 2 Catin trips. Thankfully, her wrist is holding up to it, and thankfully Kaimuk's old enough and big enough to help more these days. So yeah, it's a bit more work for us, but we're not shy in stepping up to the plate and doing that. So yeah, I think we'll be all right.